Hey, I'm really glad you're here. Wherever you are right now, maybe you're on your bed with the lights off, maybe you're on the couch with a blanket, maybe you're still moving around the house, maybe you're driving home, maybe you're walking somewhere quiet. Just let this be a soft place to land. You don't have to do anything perfectly. You don't have to catch every sentence. If you're awake, you can listen like you'd listen to a friend talking beside you. If you're sleepy, you can let the words drift in and out. Either way is fine. Just notice your body for a moment. Not in a dramatic way. Just a quick check-in. Are your shoulders up near your ears? Let them drop a little. Is your jaw tight? Let your teeth separate. Let your tongue rest. Let your hands stop gripping. If you can take a breath that feels a little slower than your last one, do that now, in and then out, like a quiet sigh. Good. Tonight I want to talk about something that almost everyone feels at some point, but almost nobody wants to admit. That moment you see someone else doing well, really well, and you feel something inside you tighten. A little sting, a little heat, a little heaviness that shows up before you can even name it. Maybe you're scrolling and you see it. The new job, the promotion, the house, the engagement, the body transformation, the business that suddenly takes off, the trip to somewhere beautiful, the post full of applause. Or maybe it's not even online. Maybe it's in real life. A friend is telling you good news across a table. A co-worker gets recognized. Someone you know is suddenly the one everybody is talking about. And there you are, smiling, saying the polite thing, doing your best to be a decent person, while a quieter part of you is doing math. They're ahead, they're winning, they're getting picked, they're getting seen, they're getting what I want. And if you've been there, if you've felt that moment and then judged yourself for it, I want you to hear this clearly. Feeling jealousy doesn't make you a bad person, it makes you a person. You can be kind and still feel a sting. You can be generous and still feel that tightness. You can genuinely wish someone well and still have a part of you that aches. A lot of people don't struggle because they feel jealousy. They struggle because they feel jealousy. And then they add shame on top of it. They make it mean they're ugly inside. They make it mean they're failing as a human being. And that extra layer shame turns a normal emotion into something corrosive. So tonight, we're not doing that. We're not attacking you. We're not doing fake positivity either. We're just going to be honest, in a way that's gentle. We'll let the topic have a little weight, because it does, and then we'll soften it. We'll lighten it without pretending. We'll turn it into something useful, something that doesn't steal your life from you. Because jealousy has a way of stealing your attention in tiny pieces, and you don't always notice it happening. It steals your focus while you're supposed to be building. It steals your energy while you're supposed to be resting. It steals your presence while you're supposed to be living your own day. And it's subtle. It doesn't always show up as hatred. Sometimes it shows up as restlessness. Sometimes it shows up as irritation. Sometimes it shows up as you suddenly wanting to change everything about your life at midnight. Sometimes it shows up as doom scrolling someone's account, even though it makes you feel worse every time. Sometimes it shows up as that quiet thought, what's the point? That's the real danger. Not the feeling itself. The danger is what happens when the feeling keeps you stuck, when it convinces you that there's no point in trying, when it makes you stop showing up for yourself. So let's slow down and look at it the way you'd look at a storm cloud rolling in, not with panic, not with blame, just with awareness, because awareness changes everything. Jealousy tends to hit hardest when you're already tired, already stressed, already carrying too much. When your nervous system is raw, everything looks sharper. Someone else's win feels personal. Their progress feels like a spotlight on your own uncertainty, and your brain, trying to protect you, starts scanning for threats. It starts scanning for proof that you're behind. It starts making lists. Look at them. Look at you. Look how fast. Look how slow. The by now thoughts are the cruelest. By now I should have. By now I should be. By now I shouldn't still be dealing with. We carry invisible deadlines. Some we chose, some we absorbed. Some were handed to us by family or culture or social media, or old expectations that got stuck in our bones. And when someone else hits a milestone, it presses on that deadline. It lights it up. It makes your mind whisper, "See, you're late." And then you start arguing with your own life. But there's something important you need to remember, and it sounds simple, but it changes the whole feeling. You are not seeing the full story. You're seeing the part that is visible, the part that got posted, the part that got celebrated. You're seeing a finished room, not the construction. You're seeing the headline, not the years that built it. You're seeing the highlight, not the behind the scenes. And your brain keeps comparing your entire messy reality to someone else's clean, curated moment. That will always hurt. It will always make you feel like you're losing. Because you're not comparing equal things. You might be comparing your ordinary Tuesday, your bills, your responsibilities, your tired body, your quiet worries, your unfinished goals to someone's brightest frame. You might be comparing your private doubts to someone's public confidence. You might be comparing the early version of your work to the polished version of theirs. You might be comparing your before to their after. And even beyond what you can't see, there's the price. Success often has a price people don't talk about. Sometimes it's the obvious stuff, time, money, effort, practice. But sometimes the price is hidden. Stress, pressure, anxiety, relationships strained, health ignored, a constant fear of losing it, the loneliness of being responsible for something big, the quiet fear that everyone will find out you're not as solid as you look. Sometimes what looks like ease is repetition. Sometimes what looks like confidence is practice. Sometimes what looks like luck is someone who showed up long enough for timing to finally meet them. And yes, sometimes timing really does do a lot. A door opens at the right moment, an algorithm picks them up, a market shifts, a mentor appears, a trend changes. They happen to have the right skill right when the world starts paying for it. That doesn't mean they didn't work. It doesn't mean you didn't work. It just means life is not a clean equation. And if you turn someone else's timing into a verdict on your worth, you're going to suffer. So when you see someone winning, it can help to quietly remind yourself, I don't know what it cost them. I don't know what they went through. I don't know what support they had. I don't know what they sacrificed. I don't know what they're dealing with off camera. I don't know. And because I don't know, I can't use their story as a final judgment on mine. Their success is not proof you're failing. It's not proof you're late. It's not proof you're not enough. It's just something that happened in their life, and you are still living yours. There's another truth that people don't say enough. Being mid-story doesn't look impressive. The middle looks slow. The middle looks uncertain. The middle looks like you're doing the same thing again and again and not seeing results yet. The middle looks like trying. The middle looks like failing and coming back. The middle looks like learning the same lesson twice. The middle looks like doing work that nobody applauds. That is normal. If you feel behind, it might not mean you're behind. It might mean you're in the middle. And the middle can feel like fog because it doesn't give you clean proof. It doesn't give you a trophy. It doesn't give you a dramatic reveal. It gives you ordinary days. It gives you small choices. It gives you repetition. It gives you patience. But the middle is where the person gets built. The person who can actually hold what they want. And this is where it gets a little deeper, and I want to be gentle with you when I say it. Jealousy is often grief. Not grief for what they have. Grief for what you hoped would already be true for you. Grief for the timeline you carried. Grief for the version of life you pictured. Grief for the promise you made to yourself. Grief for the by now you expected. That's why it stings. Not always because you want them to lose, but because you want you to finally arrive. And if you're awake right now, really listening, I want you to hold that with compassion, because there's nothing weak about that. It means you care. It means you have desires. It means you still want a life that feels good. It means there's hope in you, even if it's covered in frustration. So what if we stopped treating jealousy like a moral failure? What if we treated it like information? Because jealousy is often a message, not an enemy. A message that says, this matters to you. This is a value. This is a desire. This is a dream. And when you translate the message, the feeling changes. It becomes less toxic. It becomes less personal. It becomes something you can work with. Here's a tiny shift that sounds simple, but it can change the whole energy. Instead of saying, I'm jealous, try saying, I'm jealous because I want something too. That's it. I'm jealous because I want something too. When you say it like that, you stop pretending you're above it, and you stop shaming yourself for it. You just tell the truth. And truth has a way of softening the nervous system. Now we can ask the real question, the useful question. What do I actually want? Not their exact life, not their exact path, not their exact body, relationship, income, reputation. Underneath the surface, what is the real thing? Maybe you want stability. Maybe you want freedom. Maybe you want respect. Maybe you want peace in your body. Maybe you want to stop feeling like you're always catching up. Maybe you want a home that feels safe. Maybe you want a life where you're not anxious all the time. Maybe you want to feel proud when you look at your own day. The real thing is usually simple, and it's usually human. Name the real thing. And once you name it, jealousy becomes a compass instead of a poison. It points toward a direction. And then there's the second question, the one that turns pain into motion without turning your life into a dramatic performance. What is one small step toward my version of that? Not a full reinvention, not a grand announcement, not a 5-year plan at 2 a.m. One small step, small enough to fit into a real life, small enough to do on a normal day, with normal energy. One message, one application, 1 hour of focused work, 1 page, 1 walk, 1 practice session, 1 honest conversation, 1 boundary, 1 habit you keep for a week, because jealousy gets loud when you feel powerless. It gets louder when your actions feel tiny. But action, tiny action, brings you back to yourself. It puts you back in your lane. It gives your nervous system proof that you are moving, even if it's slow. And slow movement still counts. There's also a very real, very practical piece people ignore. Your inputs shape your feelings. If you spend hours consuming other people's highlights, your brain will start thinking that's reality. It's not. It's a museum of best moments, so it's okay to protect yourself. It's okay to mute accounts that consistently make you feel like you're failing. Even if the person is nice, even if the content is inspiring, even if you feel guilty, you don't have to hate anyone to step back. You can respect someone and still not let their life live in your head all day. That's not bitterness, that's boundaries. And there's something quietly powerful about saying, my nervous system is not a place where everyone gets to live. Sometimes jealousy isn't a personality problem. It's an overstimulation problem. It's a tiredness problem. It's a nervous system problem. When you're burnt out, your brain looks for proof that life is unfair. When you're exhausted, other people's wins feel like a spotlight on your own fear. So sometimes the most productive thing you can do for your ambition is rest. Rest is not giving up. Rest is maintenance. Rest is returning to yourself. A rested mind is kinder. A rested mind is more patient. A rested mind compares less because it has enough energy to focus on what's in front of it. And if you're listening in bed right now, this matters. Sleep is not a luxury. Sleep is not something you earn by being good enough. Sleep is a part of building a life. It's a part of becoming steady. It's a part of becoming someone who can keep going. So, if jealousy has been eating you, if comparison has been stealing your peace, it might be time to stop treating rest like a reward and start treating it like a strategy. Now let's talk about motivation, but not the harsh kind. There's a style of motivation that feels like getting yelled at. Hustle, grind, do more, be better, wake up earlier, never stop. That kind of motivation can work for a while, but it often turns into burnout. And burnout turns into more comparison, more shame, more jealousy. It becomes a loop. What you want is clean ambition. Clean ambition doesn't need self-hatred as fuel. Clean ambition sounds like, I can want more without being cruel to myself today. Clean ambition sounds like, I can take my life seriously without punishing myself for being human. Clean ambition sounds like, I can build slowly and still be proud. Because jealousy loves to whisper one toxic belief, if I'm not where they are, I'm failing. But you're not failing, you're building. And building looks boring most days. Building looks like consistency that nobody applauds. Building looks like repeating the same skill. Building looks like choosing the same habit again. Building looks like showing up when you don't feel like it, and also resting when you need to. And sometimes building looks like starting again after you've stopped. That counts too. You don't need to beat anyone. You only need to stop abandoning yourself. That might be the most important line tonight. Comparison is a form of abandonment. It's leaving your own life to go live in someone else's timeline. It's leaving your own needs to go judge yourself against someone else's highlight. It's leaving your own day to stare at someone else's scoreboard. So come back. Come back to your actual life. Come back to your body. Come back to your pace. Come back to what you can do next. Someone else's success is not a verdict on you. It's not a final judgment. It's not proof you're unworthy. It's not proof you missed your chance. It's just their chapter, and yours is still unfolding. If you're awake right now and you want something real life simple, something you can take with you without turning it into a big self-improvement project, here are 2 sentences you can hold on to. You don't have to write them down. You can just think them once softly. The thing I want most right now is, one small step I can take this week is, that's enough. Not 10 steps. 1. And if you want one more sentence, only if it feels helpful, try this. One thing I will stop consuming for my peace is, because peace is a strategy, not a personality trait. Now, if you're in bed, if you're tired, if you want to drift, let's soften the pace even more. You don't have to hold the topic anymore. Imagine comparison like a heavy coat you wore all day. Maybe it looked fine on the outside, but it was tight at the shoulders. It pulled on your neck. It made everything feel heavier than it needed to. Tonight, take it off. Not because you'll never compare again. You probably will. That's human. But you don't have to wear it into sleep. Just picture yourself taking it off and hanging it by the door. Let it be there. You can pick it up tomorrow if you really want, but you don't need it tonight. Let your breathing slow down, in and out, slower than before. If your mind brings up someone you've been comparing yourself to, notice it like a passing image, a billboard on a highway. You don't have to stop. You don't have to stare. You don't have to analyze. You can just keep moving. Thoughts can exist without becoming your reality. Now soften your face again. Let your eyelids be heavy if they want to. Let your hands be warm and still. Let your legs sink into the bed. And if you like having a few quiet lines to repeat as you drift, try these. Not like rules, like lullabies. I don't know what they went through, and I don't have to. I release the need to measure my life tonight. My pace is allowed. My path is mine. I can take one small step, and then I can rest. Good. Breathing in and out slower. If thoughts come, let them come. If thoughts go, let them go. You don't have to fight your brain. You don't have to win a battle to deserve sleep. You can just let your body do what it knows how to do. You're not behind because you're tired. You're not failing because you're human. You're not late because you're still building. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is stop checking the scoreboard and start listening to your own nervous system. Because your nervous system doesn't care who's ahead. Your nervous system cares whether you feel safe. So tonight, let safety be the goal. Let softness be the goal. Let rest be the goal. And maybe, just maybe, as you fall asleep, you can hold one final line in the back of your mind, one line that's true even on your hardest days. I'm not late. I'm not behind. I'm on my way. Quietly, one more time. I'm on my way. Good night.